Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Curse of Oak Island emotional Rick Lagina wraps up Season 11. Curse of Oak Island star Rick Lagina was emotional and seemed crestfallen at the end of Season 11 on the History Channel. However, Marty Lagina turned his thoughts to new ways to tackle the problems they encountered, paving the way for a probable Season 12 of the show. Curse of Oak Island ends with Rick Lagina being emotional. Curse of Oak Island fans want treasure. In fact, many of them are growing tired of theories about the sources of the possible jackpot. On social media, plenty of people complain about it. However, for others, it's a fascinating journey through history. Additionally, if it were easy to find the treasure, it would have happened years ago. History Channel fans who watched the finale saw Rick Lagina and the team go all out drilling a borehole. However, it wasn't successful. In fact, they found sand, more water, and the probability that many of the underground structures are not accessible. No wonder Rick seemed tearful, because they felt sure that they were closing in on the prize. Unfortunately, it seems the crossbow bolt metal was probably English rather than Norse. But there are other Scandinavian tools in the area. Marty Lagina thinks ahead while Rick is tearful. Winter interrupted Curse of Oak Island, but research will continue during the off-season. In the finale of Season 11, Marty mentioned alternative ways to explore the pitfalls they hit. A lot of drilling will be required. The team encountered disappointing results in the money pit and the garden shaft. These included more seawater flooding in the garden shaft and no new progress on the borehole at E5N14.5. Notably, a new season of Curse of Oak Island hasn't been announced. However, it seems that Marty Lagina is prepared for it. According to Forbes, the ratings are still very good, so why cancel a show that works? Possibly, fans can expect a renewal announcement in the fall. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows across the familiar landscape of Oak Island, Rick Lagina stood silently at the edge of the money pit. Season 11 had been a journey marked by discovery, frustration, and moments of profound reflection. The cool Atlantic breeze carried with it the scent of salt and pine, a constant reminder of the island's mysteries and the relentless passage of time. For Rick, this season was different. There was an undeniable weight in the air, a feeling that something significant had shifted. His eyes, normally filled with the spark of determination, now seemed to carry a deeper, more introspective gaze. As he stood there, looking at the excavation site that had consumed so much of his life, it was clear that an emotional crossroads had been reached. A season of high hopes and new clues. Season 11 had begun with the highest of hopes. The discovery of new evidence, from the unusual stone formations in the swamp to the tantalizing fragments of ancient manuscripts, had reignited the team's belief that they were closer than ever to uncovering the truth. The anticipation was palpable as they dug deeper, inching closer to the heart of the mystery that had eluded so many for over 2 centuries. For Rick, these new clues were more than just pieces of a puzzle. They were symbols of his lifelong dream, the very reason he had committed himself to this quest. Each new finding seemed to bring them closer to the elusive treasure, but also deeper into the unknown. There were moments of excitement, like when the metal detector pinged over a strange, buried object, or when the archaeologists unearthed a relic that defied conventional explanation. However, with each discovery came the realization that the island was not ready to yield its secrets so easily. The deeper they dug, the more questions arose, each answer shrouded in ambiguity. The new findings only seemed to add layers to the island's enigma, leaving Rick to ponder whether the true treasure of Oak Island was knowledge itself, hidden beneath centuries of speculation and myth. The toll of time and the weight of legacy. As the days turned into weeks, the physical and emotional toll of the search became more apparent. The team had faced setback after setback, collapsing tunnels, flooding, and equipment failures that seemed almost too well-timed to be mere coincidence. For Rick, the strain of these challenges was evident. His face showed the wear of someone who had spent countless sleepless nights poring over maps and historical documents, trying to find the missing piece of a puzzle that seemed to constantly shift in his hands. He often found himself thinking about his brother, Marty. Together, they had embarked on this incredible journey, driven by the stories they had read as children and the dreams they had shared of finding a hidden treasure. Marty was the analytical one, the skeptic who balanced Rick's boundless passion. But even Marty had been drawn deeper into the mystery over the years, his curiosity kindled by the strange coincidences and discoveries that seemed to defy logic. For Rick, the search had always been about more than treasure. It was about honoring the legacy of those who had come before, the men and women who had sacrificed so much in their own quest for answers. He felt a profound connection to these unknown figures, sensing their presence in every twist and turn of the dig. He often wondered what they would think of his efforts. Would they see him as a worthy successor, or as another in a long line of dreamers chasing an unattainable goal? Moments of reflection amid the search. There were moments this season when Rick would pause, allowing himself a rare moment of reflection. He would walk along the shore, listening to the waves crashing against the rocks, and think about what the search meant to him personally. It was not just about solving a historical riddle, but about understanding the nature of persistence, the human need for answers, and the desire to connect with something greater than oneself. He would often stand at the edge of Smith's Cove, looking out at the vast expanse of water that had swallowed so many secrets. It was here that he felt closest to the essence of Oak Island, to the very soul of the place. The cove, with its peculiar flood tunnels and ancient structures, had always held a special fascination for him. This season, as they unearthed new artifacts and structures, he felt that familiar pull, that sense that they were standing on the precipice of something monumental. Yet, there was also a quiet sadness in those moments. Rick understood that every discovery, no matter how small, came at a cost. The search had taken years of his life, pulled him away from family, and demanded an unwavering commitment that sometimes felt like a burden. He knew that the island demanded sacrifice, that it had claimed the dreams of so many before him, and still he could not let go. A personal decision looms. As season 11 drew to a close, Rick found himself grappling with a decision that had been looming for some time. Should he continue the search, knowing the toll it had taken on him and his team? Or was it time to step back, to accept that the answers they sought might never be found? He knew that the island had a way of calling people back, of drawing them in with its mysteries and refusing to let go. He had seen it in the faces of his team, in the eyes of those who had joined the search with fresh enthusiasm and who now bore the same weariness he felt. Yet he also knew that the island had given him something priceless, a sense of purpose, a connection to history, and the chance to explore one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of all time. Standing at the money pit, Rick felt a rush of emotion. He thought of his father, who had ignited this passion in him with a simple magazine article, and of all the people who had stood beside him over the years. He knew that whatever decision he made, it would be done with a full heart, with the knowledge that he had given everything he had to the search. A hopeful farewell for now. As he wrapped up the season, Rick addressed the team with a quiet resolve. His voice, tinged with emotion, spoke of gratitude, of the bonds they had formed, and of the journey they had shared. He thanked them for their commitment, their passion, and their willingness to face the unknown. And then, with a look that held both hope and resignation, he turned to the camera and spoke directly to the viewers who had followed the search for over a decade. "We may not have all the answers yet," he said, "but the journey is far from over. Oak Island has a way of surprising us when we least expect it, and who knows, the greatest discovery might be just around the corner."